Blog Talk Radio.
Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy, join the party. Good summer party. Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed.
Welcome to the Pajama Party. It's a Friday night in the city, and we're ready to go. We got post news on the election here, but we'll get into that a little later. First of all, welcome to a Friday night. I'm Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir.
And this is the Pajama Party. This is a Friday night affair. It goes on every Friday night. It's an adult late night talk show where we get in about anything and everything. There's no rules on the Pajama Party. Our motto here is to go big or go home. Ketel, we got a rundown of what's happening tonight?
We sure do. We got a lot going on tonight.
Okay.
How's everybody doing? Oh, good. Okay.
I'm doing pretty good. My beard's getting hot. But,
okay. Got to be fresher then.
Well, we got interns here that don't know the quality
of
it.
Lord.
People don't know how to
flag one for you.
People don't know how to fill a cooler. They put the beer on top of the ice, put the beer in first, then throw the ice. That way the beer got somewhere to sit. So people throw ice in, then they throw beer on top of it. Like,
we got Cooler 101. Hey.
Don't get me started.
If you didn't know, now you know. All right then. Look, you guys want to call in? Call us up tonight. 914-803-4306
and press 1.
Press 1. If you're listening already, press 1 if you want to talk.
Okay.
You'll be cued in. Anyway, Ketel got the rundown on what's happening there.
Sure do. We got some hot topics tonight. KKK planning a march for Trump.
In favor of him.
Yes.
But of course.
Of course. The Million Woman March. Russia in touch with Trump, like we didn't know. We have a special round of table post-election discussions. What's popping with Poppa DD? I guess he's going to tell us about that a little later.
Sure, he'll give that.
Our weird news. California City elects a dead man to office. Also, grave diggers get down and dirty. And a woman accused of drinking and taking a forklift to move her van. Okay.
Things people do.
I know. I'm just saying with Redwine, that dad laid it out. Living for the City with Poppa DD again. He got another surprise for us. My Hollywood wrap-up. I'm going to talk about Robert Redford and Robert Vaughn. Our cocktail of the week, the Straight Jacket. I wonder, is that Donald Trump? Maybe I need to put Donald Trump beside that. Our kiss it list and the last word. Sit back, relax, get your favorite cocktail, because that's what we're doing tonight. Hey. All right now. And we're going to come back with the hot topics.
Do you have unruly children? Do they misbehave in school and get bad grades? Are timeouts completely ineffective? Are you scared to spank them because they might have you arrested? What they need is a new school where discipline is number one and education is secondary. What they need is...
Whoop That Ass Academy.
Here at the
Whoop That Ass Academy,
we don't have discipline problems. Know why? We're privately owned and we do what we want. And when kids get out of hand,
we whoop that ass.
Timeout is for football games. When kids want to show off, we don't give them a timeout. We just
whoop that ass.
We don't make a kid stand in the corner. That's by house plan. When one of our kids gets out of order, we snatch him out of that classroom and
whoop that ass.
Here at WTA Academy, we make sure they learn the basics of reading and writing, math, and science. But above all else, they learn discipline. This is what will keep your kids out of jail. Make the world a better place. Sometimes you gotta whoop
that ass.
And we do. Here at WTA Academy, our motto is, we care enough to whoop
that ass.
They may not read and write too well, but they'll act like they've got sense because we
whoop that ass.
So bring your kids on down to
Whoop That Ass Academy.
We'll get them straight.
Welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir.
Yes. And like I said, this is a late night, adult night talk show where we get it in. First of all, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Veterans Day. Today is Veterans Day, which honors our vets.
Oh, yeah.
Honor the people that paved the way for us to live, people that went and got the ultimate sacrifices in different places of the world, different hot spots in the world. You know, whether it be World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Afghanistan, Iraq, Pearl Harbor, storming the beaches of Normandy. I mean, there's just so many different situations during wars where Americans stepped up and took over different hostile areas and paid the ultimate sacrifice by getting killed. If you ever go through Arlington Cemetery, you will see acres and acres of perfectly aligned tombstones, and these aren't just tombstones; these are people, straight up. Right. And the way it's lined up so strategically will blow your mind, and it's just a blessing. Those people took the ultimate sacrifice so everybody can walk and live and do what you want to do and act a fool like you do, and only because somebody took a sacrifice ahead of you. So. And this falls every November the 11th.
Right.
So no matter what day it may be on. This happened to be a Friday this year, so don't think you got a 3-day weekend or anything like that. It just happened to fall on a Friday. So any day Veterans Day is the day it is. If it's on a Wednesday, it'll be a holiday on a Wednesday. They don't make it. Veterans Day is the one holiday that's not made a Monday holiday.
Right,
if it's on Tuesday, it's Tuesday. Yep. It's the 11th of November, period, okay? So put that in your itinerary, okay? Next to 9/11. People seem to always remember 9/11, but there's a lot of things in this world that happen as opposed to 9/11. And we got to put tragedies in perspective. We can't just hold on to certain tragedies and ignore other ones because there's people that sacrifice in all kind of aspects. So anyway, today we're honoring Veterans Day, which is November 11th. All right?
All right.
Anyway.
This particular day used to be called Armistice.
Yeah, Armistice Day.
It was originally set as a U.S. legal holiday to honor the end of World War I, which officially took place on November 11th, 1918. You guys
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Okay.
Well.
So that's the origin, okay.
Yeah.
1918. Yeah, 1918 is not that far away. You know, if you look back, stop thinking that the 2000 time is what it is.
That's a long time.
The world has been going on for a long time. We didn't start anything. We are just a continuation of life. We didn't start anything, and we're sure not going to finish it because, just like Gladys Knight said, as bad as we think these days are, these will become the good old days of our children. So therefore.
But also too, this was the last time that President Obama he laid the wreath on unknown soldiers.
My main man. Leaving office.
Yeah, and a little history behind that is the Tomb of the Unknowns is a monument dedicated to American service members who have died without their remains being identified. It is also known as the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, but it was never officially named that. They just started saying it because they didn't know who that soldier was in that tomb. Yeah, so everybody knows it's located in Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. And the World War I unknown is a recipient of the Medal of Honor. The U.S. unknowns who were interned are also recipients of the Medal of Honor presented by U.S. presidents who preside over their funerals. So, a little history there. Interesting.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's how it started. All right. Are we going to go into these hot topics?
Yeah.
All right. Am I up first?
I think so.
Okay. Trump inauguration is going to be met by the Million Woman March. You remember when they did that some years ago? I think it was right after the Million Man March. Well, this story comes out of New York. It says women anxious that Donald Trump's presidency in the U.S. could set back or destroy many of their rights are planning a massive march in Washington one day after he is sworn in. So that'll be the day after the inauguration when 1 million women plan to march on D.C.
They couldn't get a permit for that day.
Oh, I'm sure they
sure
couldn't because the city is going to be locked down.
They wasn't issuing no permits on the 20th of January. Period.
Yeah.
They don't want no distractions. Rightly so, because this is a person being sworn in as president. They don't need no background noise.
Well, they said that within the first 24 hours after the march was announced, they had 35,000 people already signed up that quick.
Wow.
So we'll see if they make it with 1 million.
This is women?
This is women. Million Women March.
They had one in Philly. Cause I went.
Yeah, I went to the one in Philly. That was the only one.
Yeah, I'm trying to find me a date. I think I might hang out down there.
Yeah, well, that may be a good time to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be too many radical women, Pop.
That's all right.
Well, they're concerned about a lot of the things that Trump said during his campaign. One of which is where he said that he thought women who had abortions should be punished. And then he later retracted that and backed up saying, well, the doctors who perform the abortion should be punished.
Okay.
So.
Well, until you know that woman's situation, who are you to judge?
Exactly.
Especially if you ain't the baby's daddy, what the hell you got to do with it anyway?
And especially if you're not going to be the one bankrolling it. So if you're not going to be paying for the care and ongoing, maintenance and whatever of the child, why?
And plus, you're not the one making that crucial.
Get on that topic.
You're not the one that's making that crucial, painstaking decision on what to do with a child. So all these outside pundits, talking heads, if you will, that's got something to say
always
about
have
somebody
something to say about somebody else's welfare, body,
I mean, this
business,
woman may
the whole thing.
This woman is getting an abortion for whatever her particular situation is, and some outside entity ain't got nothing to do. Well, your mind is not at unrest like her mind is, so therefore don't keep your opinion to yourself.
Well, I wish them well, and if they're coming to D.C., that'll make it easy. We'll have to go down there and check it out.
Yeah, I'm going to see what Susan says.
Yeah, I'm sure Poppa DD will be there. Anyway, what else is happening in the news?
Baby.
Other than Trump, what else is happening in the news?
Well, I got Russia says that it was in touch with Donald Trump during the campaign.
Like we didn't know.
That surprised you? Moscow, November 10th. The Russian government was in touch with members of President-elect Donald Trump's political team during the U.S. election campaign and knows most of his entourage. Okay, one of Russia's most senior diplomats told the Interflex News Agency on Thursday. All right?
I'm not
in defeat, Hillary Clinton, Russians accused Hillary Clinton of being a puppet of Barack Obama, and they claimed that she wasn't strong enough to really, maintain a hold on anything. I mean, you got to understand, Russia is a man's world. You know what I mean? They're man on man. You know, and any woman that come in there, yeah, well, women, as far as they're concerned, need to stay 10 feet behind them.
Man on man.
So, but I just think that Trump is going to be manipulated, okay? Anybody that hovers over you too long, when they just met you, is basically manipulating your ass, Especially if you got something that they want or something that they don't have. You know what I mean? You got real pretty hair and somebody with a dirty-ass weave is hanging around you. There's something up. No disrespect to hair or weaves. I'm making an example here.
Is that how it goes?
You meet a girlfriend, and you're a real sophisticated lady. You come from good stock. Everything on you is real and right. And then you meet this girlfriend who's just hanging on with, all this bullshit. And she's all on you and all over you. It shows that she's trying to live her life through you. So be careful. And this is what the Russians are doing. They see Trump and they see he's 70 years old. They say we could manipulate that ass. They could manipulate Barack because Barack was sophisticated.
They're too cool.
And I may add that Barack and Michelle, that's a tough act to follow. So,
yeah, that's true.
With Trump and his mail order bride wife, did I say that? With his wife, with his beautiful wife. In fact, she was a model, and we ain't gonna go there. All right, go to YouTube and pull up Donald Trump's wife. You'll see some deep stuff. Anyway, but like I was saying, the Russians are in bed with Trump already. I think it's through manipulation because I don't think they want him to go near that oil over in Kuwait that's just out there free of charge. He don't realize that there's no loyalty amongst thieves. Okay?
Well, he ought to know.
He's going to realize soon enough because most people think they're real smart. They're really not. So Trump think he got it going on. He's smart, but you're 70 years old, so you're half crazy anyway. So we'll see what happens.
And I thought he was taking pills to become crazy. He's already crazy, huh?
Please,
Who knows?
How old is his wife? Did we get an
I don't
age
know.
on her?
What a good question.
30, 35?
Well, they have a 10-year-old son, so.
Yeah,
that don't mean anything.
I don't know. You can just shoot a needle inside the testicles.
I would guess maybe in her 40s, but
nowadays, I got a child. Yeah, nowadays you can shoot a needle inside the testicles and pull out the anyway. Yeah, I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She's 46.
46.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she was 36 when they met.
Good, though.
Exactly.
Around that time.
She's 46. He was born April 26, 1970.
Wow.
Okay.
I got shoes older than her, but anyway.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep it moving here.
Okay. Well, if you guys got any questions or comments what we're talking about, hit us up tonight. Or listen to us online. You can call us at 914-803-4306.
And press 1.
Press 1.
Yes, if you're already talking to us, if you already got us online on your phone, or got us you're in touch with us by a phone, just press the 1 and you'll be pulled up in the queue and you can give us your opinion on what's happening.
Yeah.
Our last hot topic, before we get into this whole
political arena here.
Yeah,
we're going to need some gloves.
This whole election debacle.
North Kakalaki Republican Party condemned the KKK today after the racist group announced a parade in the Tar Heel State to celebrate the President-elect Donald Trump's win.
Really? They want to have a parade in the President-elect's honor.
And they're going to wear the white sheets, I guess.
They're going to march through North Carolina somewhere wearing sheets.
We are discussing and condemn this extremist ideology and associated actions in the strongest possible terms. This is what the North Carolina GOP chairman, Robin Hayes, said. These acts and thought processes are not reflection of the heartbeat of this great country and are counter to the effects to make America great again. We stand with the Democratic Party in calling these out-of-state troublemakers to go home.
Oh, out of state. So now they're trying to act like, these people aren't from North Carolina.
Yeah, sure not. Right.
They just come in about a busload wearing sheets and terrorize our state.
So they're saying December 3rd. So you guys, hey.
That's when the march is?
Yep. So if you guys are North Kakalaki, I advise you.
Does it say what part of North Carolina?
Did they say what city?
Down Tar Heel. So that's down.
No, Tar Heel. Okay. All right, over here on that.
I don't know.
Raleigh, right? Down that area.
That's crazy.
I'm like, okay, enough is enough. They're still going on, but I think the Black Panthers, they're gone, aren't they? You don't hear anything about the Black Panthers.
They don't stand a snowball chance in hell. That's where they're going.
Ooh, boy.
But anyway, let's get on with this election situation. Let's just change the subject and bring some light and some excitement this whole night because. I think everyone was shell-shocked on the results of the election because the polls put out the fact that Hillary was leading everything. And she believed it, and she geared herself into thinking that she was going to be a shoo-in, she was going to be a slaughter and things like that. But it didn't turn out that way. And what we're going to discuss here over the next few minutes is what we think went wrong. If you can call in and give us your conspiracy theory on how you think it went down. Everybody has a view. For one view, I think that Bernie Sanders didn't give a crap. Okay, being the fact he lost, he took his millions of people and they done went south. Okay, and some people was loving Bernie Sanders so much that they wasn't even voting for Hillary. They said, "I'm not voting for Hillary, no matter what." So who did you vote for? Whether you voted for Trump or you didn't vote at all, and so it got to the point where we kind of like a dog chasing his own tail. There was no satisfaction. It's not a fucking hot dog. It's a tail. So when the dog actually caught up with his tail and bit it, and it was just a ball of hair, he said, fuck, I thought this was a hot dog. Anyway, so therefore, what I'm saying in the long run is that we chase after things in life thinking it's something special when it's nothing. We chase after somebody that looks good or somebody that we think is right, and we end up wasting half our life because we chase it based on a look. Now, what we need to do in this whole situation with this election is to find out faults on this because they got in. But the one thing we have to observe, the fact is Trump is going to be a tough act to follow because my man Barack and old girl Michelle is a tough act to follow. Sophisticated, bougie, decent, wholesome. They're everything that's got to do with righteousness and realism. And Trump is coming in. Now, for example, when he sat down Thursday and talked to Barack, and they were sitting in the Oval Office, Trump had an old bulky suit on that was straight up regular everyday suit. Barack had on some tailor-made stuff.
You don't think Trump, I mean, as much millions as he is?
Please, give me a break. That suit
You think he's just getting it off the rack? Come on, Pop.
He's racking it, man. That suit wasn't nothing. And
that's how all his stuff is.
And them old puffy-ass red ties he wear. Barack had on this light blue tie with a starched shirt, custom-made suit. Brother was looking fly like, what? Are you kidding me? And Trump sitting there with all that crazy hair on his head, and Barack was looking cool as hell. All I'm saying is that they're a tough act to follow. And even his wife talking to Michelle. Now, who's going to maintain the White House? Michelle was doing jumping jacks, and she had a garden in the back growing tomatoes and all kind of stuff. You think what's her name,
Melania.
You think Melania's gonna be down there doing any kind of? I don't see her
out there digging in the dirt.
She ain't digging jack, okay? She ain't been in the dirt. She's gonna say, I do not have a green thumb. I do not have a green thumb.
She might not have a green thumb. Probably tell the gardener to go out there and
so
whatever needs to be done.
What you need to do, like I always say, you have to look. You have to look with the third eye and listen with the third ear. As this presidency goes on, just make your comparisons when different things happen. See his excitement level based on Barack being cool all the time.
Well, let me jump in and say what I think went wrong.
Go on.
I think for Hillary, what went wrong is of course, the polls were misleading.
Yeah, made her
and see, with the polls, the thing is, it's not like they can document or prove how anybody specifically voted, because there were clearly a lot of people who said they were not with Trump. Right. But obviously the polls show that they were.
Oh, there was friends of mine.
So you had people going in there, and then when those people are doing those exit interviews, saying, who'd you vote for?
Hillary.
They were up there talking about Hillary.
Yeah,
I was with Hillary.
Sure you
and they were lying through their teeth. I think she relied on the polls too much, and I think she needed to really go and visit some of those middle America states.
Yeah, she missed that.
She spent a lot of time in the areas where she pretty much had it or thought she had
her comfort zone.
Exactly. She stayed in her comfort zone. And I think a lot of times when I heard her speak, she kept talking about women and children and the grandchildren. And I think that might have made some men feel like we're not on your radar. Right. And even though that's assumed when you say the women and the children, you could assume that means family in totality. But if you don't say it, people kind of feel left out. Oh, sure. She went after the black vote. She went after the Hispanic vote. But a lot of white women, the majority of white women, I think I read it was like 53% of white women in America voted for Trump. Now, I thought that was surprising because I'm like, are y'all serious?
Yeah, the same.
After all the things that he said and did, you still went and cast your vote for him?
Well, a lot of them want to be on the right side of white, too. I mean, you got to understand, too. I mean, one thing we can understand, you never be understand. See, one thing, I think life is really like a computer. We live our life based on how we are programmed. Okay? And
that's true.
People that are in the middle America area, and I'm not judging them. Maybe I am, But people who live in middle America, they were raised a different way. People in Montana and Utah and Iowa and Kansas and all that crap.
North and South Dakota,
all up around, oh my God, we want to go. He won all that. And he won everything down there, all the way down to Texas. Now, these people are programmed a different way. Now, a lot of people that are out on the farms and stuff like that, they've been dealing with what they consider a black man as the president for 8 years. And they sat back and they were dominated. First, they got it by shell shock the first 4 years. And then the next 4 years, when they boy Romney came in, who was Mr. Sophisticated, good-looking, rich, everything he had going on for him, and Barack beat him too. And so people in middle America said, damn, what the hell's going on up there? And they say up there talking about up north, the East, of course, the northeast region of the world. So anyway, they got away with that. But then they got really pissed off. Now, Trump came out and blew what's called a dog whistle. You know what a dog whistle is?
That's something that only the dogs can
Only
hear,
the
right?
dogs can hear.
Right,
Okay? So
right.
Trump came out with
He came up
and
with
all the
with-
people out there with the
all their
sheep,
ears went up.
all the people out there drinking moonshine and driving tractors and fucking their cousins and everything else that goes with people that are off the. I'm in therapy. I'm in therapy. I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna put $1 in the jar.
Yeah.
Forgive
Yeah,
me.
you gotta put $1
Okay.
in your therapy.
Let's get back. I'm in therapy.
Okay.
Give me a couple pills so I can.
But I think you're right. But so, Ketel, what do you think went wrong for Hillary?
Like you said, she wasn't visible, and I think the rallies, she didn't do enough rallies in some of the smaller states where I don't have them, let me go and see what I can do. She just went to the ones that were more or less guaranteed to her, per se. I think whoever advisors were, they just didn't tell her the right things. They just,
that could be
right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think too, like you said, she was doing the Hispanic vote, the black vote, women vote, and like you said, the white males, they felt,
kind of
Right.
disenfranchised.
They probably wasn't ready.
and then two, I think she is too much behind President Barack Obama and his views. I mean, she's probably 50% of what he wants, and a lot of people want to change. They want something different.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the same 8 or 4 more years of President Barack Obama.
They
I don't
wanted to
want
see
that.
a white woman. They wanted to see white folks wanted to see some whiteness back in the mix,
Right.
which is something as blacks you can't understand. You can't even visualize what they may be thinking.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, we got a caller.
All right, we're going to go to Florida. Caller, you are live on the Pajama Party Show. Go right ahead.
Hey, everyone. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, how are
Doing
you?
good. How are you?
I'm fine. I just wanted to point out a couple of things regarding the election. Living in Florida, it was really interesting to see the dynamic. And part of the problem that I saw is you had pastors holding almost like meetings in churches to talk about why they needed Donald Trump. And I finally asked someone just yesterday, what was it? They said something that I thought was interesting, but I also read online that a professor at American University is now saying that once they convinced Donald Trump to take Mike Pence, they needed Trump elected because they plan on getting rid of him. And then they have a true conservative, controllable Republican in the White House.
Interesting.
Mike Pence has one of the worst records on women's health of any governor in the country. Mike Pence is anti-gay, period. Not gay marriage, anti-gay. He's a climate denier. He's one of those people that feels that the indigenous people in here really should get over it because white people built America. And it wouldn't be the great country it was if it had been left to those indigenous people. He's also someone that feels that black people aren't always, up to quote-unquote standards as white people are. So all of this was to make sure the Republicans had it all this go-round. And I foresee them trying to impeach Trump very quickly after inauguration.
Really? I can see that because people are already buzzing about it now. They're saying, look, don't worry about it because give him less than a year, he will screw up and we'll have a reason to impeach him.
So I implore all of my people, whether you be black, other, white, don't care, all of my fellow Americans to pay attention. Vote in that interim election that's coming in 2 years. Make sure you get out and understand what the issues are. Because when they say make America great again, what they really were saying was make America white again.
Oh, yeah, we got that.
Angry.
There you go.
For sure.
They are angry.
Yeah, we got that one.
Let me say this. Living in Florida, they don't even hide it.
Same thing applies up
They
here.
just hit you upside the head with it, huh?
Well, because at the end of the day, they have been pissed that a black man achieved something while they are struggling. Mark Cuban said that 3 years ago. He said the problem in this country is that you have white people sitting around talking about how did a black man get to be president and I'm still struggling to put food on the table.
Oh, so they never got over that.
So, but thank you for giving me a chance to stand on my little soapbox, and I appreciate your show.
Anytime.
No, thank you.
You can jump back in if you like.
All right. Thank you. You have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
All right. We got another caller. Caller, you're live on the Pajama Party show. Go right ahead. What's your comment?
Hey, I just wanted to say that I'm just surprised at all the hatred that's just come out, not only from the older generation, but the younger generation that's here, a generation that sees all the protests that are going on now and actually realize the both sides of the spectrum, not just what their parents are telling them, not just what they see at home. They're going away to colleges where they have friends that are minorities, friends that are in the LGBTQ community, and yet and still they're blind. And they've just all I can say is that they've been brainwashed, and I'm disappointed. And I can't even claim them as friends anymore because of their viewpoint. I can't be friends with somebody who thinks that someone raping a woman or grabbing her the wrong way or saying that a pregnant woman is, what did you say, a waste of time or just whatever. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
And you want that.
Yes, a lot of that going on.
Right.
Well, what I thought was interesting is how a lot of the children were reacting when they found out that Trump won the election. They had to bring counselors to a lot of the area schools because the kids were distraught.
Right.
And when the teachers talked to the kids and asked them, well, why are you crying? What's the problem? And they were saying, because my family comes from Guatemala, Puerto Rico, Mexico, etc. And Trump said he was going to send us all back or send my parents back, and I could stay, but I don't want to be here without my parents or my grandparents, etc. So the kids were crying.
Wow.
And they were very distraught. They had to bring in the counselors.
Yeah. But see, I heard that he's also trying to take away the fact that if you're an immigrant and you birth a child in America, that's not going to be a U.S. citizen. So he's trying to get rid of that. And I think that's insane. Right. But
well, I'm kind of on the other side of the spectrum on that because, unfortunately, if you come from another country, you come over here purposely because we have that law. If that child is born in the United States, they're considered a U.S. citizen, and that's not right. That's not fair. Because they get the benefits that we should be getting as far as either child care or I don't want to say welfare, but benefits as that. They get more benefits than somebody here in the United States.
The reality is that if that's where you were born, that's where you were born.
Yeah.
Right.
So, what are you supposed to say?
Like I said, they purposely come over here to have the child. Trust and believe, I've experienced it. I know someone like that.
The fault is not with the pregnant person. The fault is with the system that allowed someone to come here
that's what it is.
in the first place.
That's what they're trying to change.
If you're undocumented or illegal or whatever the case, well, however you got here, if you give birth to a child, that child was born in America. Therefore, that child should be considered American.
So what is the procedure of the mother's stand once they do have a child here? The child, on the caller, can you help us out with that? If the child is born here, the child becomes an American citizen. So what is the disposition of their mom?
Isn't she still the guardian?
I guess you'd be here on the guardian visa. Maybe that's
Yeah, I don't know how that works out.
It's probably a guardian visa, like you said. So, the racket is in, the fix is in, and everybody's aware of it. People that come over here for that, they know what they got to do. And it's so interesting because that can make a pregnancy very reckless. You know what I mean? Because you're just trying to get a baby in your stomach no matter what. There's nothing connected to it. There's no love or commitment or even kind of adornment for the person that even got you pregnant. As long as he's got a good, a good trigger finger. you're happy with that.
I will say that according to I think it was Pew Research, the exit poll, they said that the majority of the young people voted Democratic, and the people that were over 60 or so all went, not all, but the majority of them went Republican. So I thought that was an interesting number when you look at it, because you have a lot of young people who were feeling like the Democrats are going to be the way that's going to heal the land, and a lot of the older people were like, no, Trump is the man. We need to go that direction, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Also, all the stuff that he's promising, that's what they're looking forward to, the whole wall issue and, of course, deporting all the immigrants and all that stuff. That's what they're looking forward to, all that quote-unquote problems of America being pushed out, welfare being taken away so that people can find jobs and all that stuff. I understand. They should, be working towards being on their own, being self-sufficient. However, some people can't because of disabilities, or, maybe somebody had too many kids, what have you. That's their problem. But that's when abortion comes into play. So if you take away welfare and you have people that are on birth control, like, young kids, and they're out here having sex all over the place because, of course, they do, hormones are all over the place. But when that happens, there's no abortion with him in the presidency. Like, what is going to happen? All the births are going to skyrocket. There'll be no more jobs again because everybody's going to be looking for jobs to support their family. Like, it's just going to be too much. It's going to be too much.
Yeah, I think you hit that nail on the head.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate you hanging with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for bringing a young perspective into the game.
Yeah, for real.
Thank you for your point of view.
Thank you guys for being here and just allowing us to talk and communicate with you guys.
Well, thank you.
Every Friday, that's what we do.
All right. We appreciate you. Thanks.
No problem. Good night.
Good night.
All right, take care. I also want to say, too, that I think the bigger problem with that, too, was Bernie Sanders people. I don't think they came out.
Right.
People talking about demographics.
He asked them
older
to,
people, younger
but you
people.
don't know what they really did.
Let me tell you something. Those people were fired up. When Bernie lost, they were fired up, and I don't think enough time elapsed for them to come back into perspective on what was really going on. They were always the us against the world kind of thing, and he was offering them a lot of free stuff and all this illusionary things that may have been, based on the reality they haven't experienced yet. So therefore, they jumped on the bandwagon of that, and he jumped on with fears. Anytime somebody say you're gonna go to free college and all that, you can sell that to a certain demographic of people. But then when he didn't win the primary, they followed his attitude. It took him a while to come around because his ego was tarnished. The same way Hillary's ego was tarnished when Barack beat her in the primary.
Oh, sure.
So at the time. Right, but you have to get over that eventually, because the one thing you got to do going into any competition, whether it be the Super Bowl, the NBA championship, the World Series, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose.
That's right. There you go.
And unless you go in there with the attitude, you got to come in there. Right, you got to come in and think that my candidate can lose.
Right.
I think that the order of business with the Bernie Sanders camp was that when they lost, they were like, oh, hell no.
Right.
I'm not voting, because I've had a couple of people that I know personally, younger people, that I'm not voting for Hillary. I don't get, and there was not enough time elapsed for them to do any rational thinking.
So you think they went over to Trump's
Oh
camp?
no, I think they didn't vote at all.
I see.
Because if they're in between the ages of 18 and 24, they don't really have a strong. Some of them don't have a strong motivation to vote.
Right.
They're trying to figure out, well, what am I voting about? What the hell? I'm not going to play in this. They act like
there were some people who felt like Hillary's campaign just didn't generate the excitement like when Barack Obama was running. Everybody was fired up and energized. There was a lot of voter registration going on.
Right.
And her campaign just seemed to be kind of like la-di-da.
Well, because Barack also, first of all, is a genuine, kind, considerate, fun-loving, decent person. That accounts for a lot.
And he didn't come into it with a lot of baggage.
And he also
He came in with a lot of baggage.
Well, Hillary has got, she's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And she's got a situation whereas, you can't think that she's not going to feel it when somebody talking about how much your husband was messing around back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to affect her because that was probably a dark time in her life.
Oh, sure.
And then Trump went as far as bringing the women that he messed with to the debate.
Yeah, he sure did.
Now, how are you going to somebody bring my exes up in the joint, I'd be like, damn! I was not trying to see Val again in my life. I done pushed that joker to the curb. I'm done with her. But Trump going to bring his all Bill Clinton's exes and everybody he was allegedly connected to. He brought all of them to. Now, first of all, talk about the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
You're going to bring Bill Clinton's exes to the debate, and you got baby mama drama out the ass. You got children by 3 different women. You got his wife. What's her name? Remember his first wife?
Ivanka. My thing is white is right, and that's what.
Yeah, well, you know what though? And baby mama drama is baby mama drama.
He had Marla Maples.
Marla Maples, he got a daughter. No, let's not. Don't jump on Marla Maples. Let's start with the first wife first.
Ivanka.
Let's do the family as it's created.
Oh yeah.
You got the 3 children by
Ivanka.
Okay. The 2 kids, the 2 boys and the grown girl. Then you got Marla Maples, where it came along. I think he married her because she got pregnant. Because that was a situation where he was in the middle of his little thing. But anyway, and her daughter was up there as well, Marla Maples' daughter, and now his wife and her son. So you got baby mama drama hanging out of your ass.
But you know what? Nobody touched on that. That's interesting. You said that.
Right.
Nobody touched on that.
Well, because sometimes when a lot of people are rich like that, they kind of bring their families together because they got money to do it now.
Oh, that's fine. But I'm talking about as far as Hillary.
Nobody made an issue of it.
Right. So I guess they didn't tackle that.
Well, because sometimes you have to do. Well, it's hard to do if you, like I said before, our lives are like computers. If we're not programmed that way, if Hillary doesn't have the kill it attitude to go there,
that vicious trait.
Yeah, if she don't have no vicious in her, then she's not going to bring that up.
Right.
It's just
because a lot of times people say that the kids are off limits.
I
agree. Bring that up, then that drags the kids into it, even though they're grown. But now he has a 10-year-old too. So,
and she did mention that. I think the last debate, they said take something good about your opponent, and I think she mentioned about the children.
She knew them. Yeah. She knew them when they were babies.
Oh yeah. And her daughter is friends with Ivanka, so
But I also feel just to lay on another thing. I just think that personally, Hillary should have played the campaign to a little more Caucasian like she was. She tried to trump up the black folks when it comes to Jay-Z and Beyonce and all that. No, you should have been out there with the country and western thing.
Yeah.
You should have been out in the Middle East talking to the hillbillies and all on their farms and all.
But see, that's the vote that she wanted. That's who she geared to, like you said earlier. The women and the family and the blacks and
right, but it wasn't everything.
I think she took some of the votes for granted.
Right.
That people would just if you have been a blue state, you will be a blue state now. And it didn't turn out that way.
I think some of
at least 3 major blue states I think flipped to red.
Yeah.
And that's what messed her up.
Well, she wasn't ready for the people that was ready to come out of that black president America. She needed to test with them. As soon as they open the door, they think they're going to walk through another door now and get rid of a black president. She should have been able to greet them at the door. But no, she was over in New York and all these comfort zone areas but Middle America, Montana, like we said, Kansas, Utah, North and South Dakota, she didn't go nowhere near that, and she lost all that. So, and like I said, with Bernie Sanders, people not coming out, she was kind of tripped up. She was really tripped up.
Well, if you guys got any questions or comments what we're talking about, hit us up tonight, 914-803-4306.
And press 1.
Press 1. I think we're going to take a little CC
Okay,
break.
and then can we talk about the Electoral College when we come back?
Sure, so we can figure out what the heck that is.
Yeah, I'd like to know myself.
Is that a college on the east side somewhere?
That's some kind of jack-in-the-box college. All right, we'll be right back.
All right. Hey, this is Redwine, just doing a few promos for the Pajama Party Adult Online Radio Talk Show. You know how we do it. PJs only, no clothes allowed. And I was just trying to get this done.
Hey, Redwine, are you talking about the Pajama Party?
where we talk about hot topics, movie reviews, living for the city, and what's popping with me, Poppa DD.
I know you guys aren't doing this spot without me. Ketel with the yellow sign. Did you tell everybody that they can reach us at apajamaparty.com or call us live, 914-803-4306. Check us out on Twitter. And don't forget to tip the list.
Okay, now is the time for me to sing.
Me. We don't have time for all that.
Oh, she could sing. Let's get back to the show.
All right, we're back. This is Redwine. I'm here with Ketel. Hello. And Poppa DD.
What's going on?
And I want to talk about this Electoral College now. Mm-hmm. Now, we've been hearing a whole lot about the Electoral College. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to do some research to see if I could really understand who they are, what they are, and how it works. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, after all the stuff I read, I still just don't totally get it. It's like I understand it, but I'm not buying it. Mm-hmm. I just feel like this should be outdated now.
Right.
But anyway, I came across some information that said that this is the second election in 16 years where the winner won the popular vote but did not win the presidency. Mm-hmm. And all of this comes up when you start talking about the Electoral College. Mm-hmm. This mentions that it's a convoluted system by which the chief executive is chosen, and it was the product of an 18th century compromise that had to do with issues that no longer even apply to the way things are being run now. So there's been a lot of people saying, well, why don't we just abolish it? Right. Can we just get rid of it? But it looks like there's a lot of issues tied to it. So if you try to abolish it through a constitutional amendment, which is what some people have wanted to do, that would require either 2/3 vote from both chambers of the Congress, so that would be the House and the Senate, or a constitutional convention called by 2/3 of state legislators just to propose it as an amendment. So that sounds like it would have to be another amendment to the Constitution to get rid of it. And the chances that 3/4 of all the states that would be upset about it at any given time are very slim. So it's theoretically possible for a candidate to win the presidency with just 11 big states, big meaning in population, but it would require an extremely odd electoral coalition. Mm-hmm. So it just goes on, and I'm reading all this stuff going, okay, and all of that means what? So it sounds like you can't get rid of it unless you had at least 2/3 of the House and the Senate willing to support it and agree on it. Mm-hmm. They can't even agree probably on what day of the week it is. So I don't see that happening.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then it mentions that there's another way. If 10 states, including D.C., enacted legislation that could lead to a system that leaves the Electoral College intact, but ensures that it delivers the presidency based on the popular vote winner. But again, what are the odds of that happening? So as you know, it takes 270 electoral votes to win, as far as the electoral votes. But in this case, Trump exceeded that number, but Hillary won on the popular vote.
Right.
So the way I see it, the people spoke. That's the popular vote.
Right.
The people cast their vote, and they wanted, the majority wanted Hillary for president.
Gotcha.
But the Electoral College, when you look at all those numbers on the map and how many votes each state gets, they far outnumbered her. What was it, like 228?
70 and something. He had 228, and he had 270.
So what do you do in a case
He
like
had more than 270.
So what do you do in a case like that? So
in this case, the Electoral College is the one that makes the deciding.
Right. So what do you do in a case like that? How do you promote your situation in a case like that?
I don't know.
Oh, well, you read it, so
what?
Let me tell you.
He becomes president.
What are you saying? How do you promote your case? What do you mean?
Like
to fight it?
If the Electoral College determines the winner, then that's how you gotta schedule your campaign. You can't worry about the popular vote. You got to worry about the numbers. Right. If Texas is giving up 240 if Texas is giving up 45 Electoral College votes, you got to fuck around. I'm in therapy.
You
if
got to win
Texas is giving right, you got to win Texas. You can't be going out there thinking you being popular because the popular vote don't win. So what is it that you can't be? It's popular.
Right. So
being popular does not win. So therefore,
my thing is who you rub elbows with.
You got to strategize the numbers.
I guess it's whoever controls the electoral.
You got to strategize the numbers. You got to say, you know what? I'm trying to win this based on numbers, so I got to tag these states as give me big numbers.
Right.
They so worried about the swing state thing based on whatever they basing. You know what they doing? Know what this election did wrong, or the Democrats did wrong in this election. They went after stuff based on what is a blue state and red state. People move every day. Okay?
Yep.
So ain't no way nothing's going to be the way you think it is. Give me a break. One of the richest companies in the world with the most messed up families out there is a company called U-Haul.
Mm-hmm.
U-Haul was on 60 Minutes a few years ago. This company makes astronomical money every month, okay? Because everybody's situation changes every month. I mean, you got people trying to get out of a relationship like a thief in the night, okay? Trying to move on with different situations.
And they rent a U-Haul.
And the U-Haul family, that family that owns U-Haul, they fuss and fight with each other like dogs and cats because there's so much consistent money coming in that everybody's all freaked out, you know? But they have a company that's so lucrative because what does everybody do every month? Everybody does something different.
Yeah.
Whether you're trying to move away from something or move something to something or get something somewhere or do something to get something somewhere, U-Haul's involved in all that. I'm saying all that to say that stop looking at the map. This is a blue state. Bullshit. You don't know what's in that state now.
I agree.
This has been 4 years later. This has been 8 years later, and you still think that this is a blue state.
Well, here's the other thing that I don't understand. If you have, like, I don't know how many electoral votes, like, Texas gets, but I know it's a big number. So let's just say, for the sake of discussion, if it's 30. So to me, it seems like if the Republican candidate wins, let's say, 50% of the votes from Texas, and the Democrat gets the other 50%, or let's say 51 and 49, why does the person who got the 51% get all 30 of the votes for Texas if that's not what you want? No, I'm saying, why don't they just split it? It just seems to me like you should do a proportion of, well, that's what I'm saying. Some do, but all of them don't. So to me, it would make more sense. If you won 51%, you should get 51% of whatever the electoral votes are. Right. It shouldn't just go to, the majority winner gets all. What is the winner take all thing?
No.
I got you. I got what you're saying.
I just think, in my opinion, that Hillary was too used to hobnobbing with soul people when she should have focused on white people. Because I think that as Democrat, she had the soul people in her back pocket.
Right.
She should have went out to middle America and let her white self be known. But she hung on the East Coast, you know what I mean, like we do, you know, like most people do that can't deal with the,
Well, Maine and Nebraska are actually two of the states that do split whatever happens with the vote.
Yeah, but what are they?
Well,
a little town, what they split 3 votes apiece?
I don't know, but they split it. Well, let me. You finished, Redwine? I was going to get for a minute.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to try to explain what are the qualifications to be an elector. Oh, okay. Now, this is interesting. My head is spinning. The U.S. Constitution contains very few provisions relating to the qualifications of electors. We're going to get technical. Article 2, Section 1. Oh, God. Clause 2 provides that no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector. Should I read that again? No. Okay. So who selects the electors? Choosing each state's electors is a 2-part process. First, the political parties in each state choose slates of potential electors sometime before the general election. Second, on election day, the voters in each state select their state's electors by casting their ballots for president. So I guess that's what we do. Right.
The first part of the process is controlled by the political parties in each state and varies from state to state. Generally, the parties either nominate slates of potential electors at their state party conventions, or they choose them by a vote, the party's central committee. So the first part of the process results in each presidential candidate having their own unique slate of potential electors.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And the second part of the process happens on election day.
More?
No, they just breaking it up, trying to make you understand. So this is our process. The second part is it happens on election day when the voters in each state cast votes for the presidential candidate of their choice. They are voting for it to select their state's electors. The potential electors' names may or may not appear on the ballot. We were talking about earlier. Below the name of the presidential candidates, depending on election procedures and ballot formats in
so
the state.
who's voting for these electors? If their name doesn't appear, you said it may or may not appear on the ballot. So who is voting for these people to be the representative of their state to vote when they vote? What day is it? December 19th or November? It's either November or December.
November 8th.
No, not the main election.
Oh, okay.
I mean when the electors from the Electoral College, I think they vote on, it's either November or December 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Is when they actually vote.
Mm-hmm.
So and to me, even that seems weird, because it's like, well, if we already had the general election and we have a new president-elect, what are they going to do after the fact?
That's a good point.
You know, when they vote, it's like, so what is that? Just a
you sure it's not
thing?
Before November 8th?
No, it's after.
After.
It's definitely after November 8th.
It's crazy.
This is boring the hell out of me.
I don't understand why.
And you know what gets me though? Let me just put my 2 cents in on this.
Come on, Papa.
I just feel like anything out there that's got electors or people or whatever can be bought.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump has been buying shit his whole life. Excuse my language. I put a dollar in the jar.
Sure.
Okay. Trump has been buying stuff his whole life. He's a billionaire. He's been grabbing vaginas, like he said. He's been getting coochie when he wants to, getting stuff when he needs to. So when he digs deep into this whole electrical college, boring-ass entity that's out there and say, how much money can I sprinkle on this shit to make it mine?
And he kept saying.
And he said, this election is,
and
he kept saying this election is rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged. When the hell did the Republicans start shouting about something being rigged? Isn't that poor people that usually get rigged up?
Well,
it was the other way around. So all Trump was doing was throwing some reverse psychology bullshit out there while his cronies was going around the world and paying folks off, fixing up different boxes. See, I think that just like George Bush proved to us a long time ago that white folks get in the White House by any means necessary.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
They feel like all this is an election. We can't take it so serious. It's a matter of who's going to get through the front door. And I think the Clinton were just being too nice when Trump was sitting back saying, okay, I had my man go up to Montana and pay off such and such. He was living on a farm, poor as hell. We took care of him, so we should win Montana. And once Montana was won, he like, okay, cool. The people we sent up to Montana to crooked the shit up, it worked.
Sure.
I mean, don't get it twisted. Because I think in this world, you know, like I said, I'm going to say again for the 3rd time tonight, we are all like computers. We live our life as we are programmed. Some people wasn't programmed like you. Some people didn't come with Intel. They came with a bullshit processor, meaning they were raised by fucked up parents. Okay, so therefore their processor is different. Their parents taught them to process things in a different way. And this is the way life is. So stop thinking that people that you work with or even live with or involved with think like you think. If you were raised by decent people in decent stock, then you got decent stock thinking. But that person that may be your roommate in college or whatever, or your roommate in your apartment, ain't thinking like you.
Oh, no.
So you look up and they done did some wild shit. You say, damn, what the hell was that? Well, I just figured out. You just figured? You was never even taught to figure like that.
Okay.
So Trump went after stuff the way he felt he had to do it. Right. Now he walk around all innocent, like I'm the president-elect. I went in the White House, I met Barack, I'm being all cool and casual. Bullshit. That man got horns underneath his head, and you know it.
Oh, sure.
You know that them horns after a while are going to rise up.
He done paid
and
big time.
now they run the Senate, they run the House, they got the presidency. But see, that could be interesting because in basketball, they got a team called the Golden State Warriors. Okay? Now, they just picked up Kevin Durant from the Oklahoma. Okay? He's a bad dude. Now, this team was already bad. Now, they mean good. Bad meaning good.
Okay.
And they picked up Kevin Durant. But they lost their first game with all that talent. And that's what Kobe Bryant said. When somebody asked Kobe Bryant, what do you think about the Golden State Warriors now having, all these good players, plus they just picked up Kevin Durant? Kobe Bryant said, find a way to beat them. So what I'm saying, all that to say, is the fact that Trump went in this with a whole nother mindset. And he grabbed after the people with the dog whistle to wake up the most racist people on the planet who he knew was pissed off by having a black president. Some people did not appreciate a black president from day one.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, and some of them can't accept a female as president. Don't get it twisted. We got some men out here today that are so wired up when it comes to man on man, I am man, hear me roar. A female can't do shit for me but cook me some eggs. Okay, and wash my dirty socks and drawers. The mindset of people are deep, especially in middle America. So, I'm just saying, don't get it twisted. Trump got on the back, but what's going to be beautiful, and I want everybody listening to this, I'm going to get off my soapbox. What everybody should do from now on is look and see what all these white men do, and I mean white men. Look and see what these white men do between now and January 20th, how they already done kicked, what's his name, to the curb? Chris Christie. Because he ain't playing right. Then you got crazy ass Rudy Giuliani, who's dumb, who's crazy as my goodness.
He's like a junkyard dog.
He's a junkyard dog.
That's what he is.
And when he's got the look of the devil when you look at him. And watch all these white men that are trying to do what they do. And trying to get what they can get, because they all need money. They all need to work somewhere. When you're a politician, people vote you in. That means you don't apply for a job. You're given a job based on people voting for you. So Rudy Giuliani, when the last time he was working anywhere? He's been on Trump's payroll for a long time, which means he's been sucking Trump's Johnson for years. Okay? Read it. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to... I'm in therapy. Okay, cool.
We're going to take another dollar in the jar. Well, wait, I just want to add this one more thing. When we were talking about the difference between the electoral vote and the popular vote, other than Gore, you remember when the same thing happened to Al Gore and now Hillary, there were three other candidates in our history who won the popular vote but lost the electoral vote, and that was Andrew Jackson back in 1824, and when he lost to John Quincy Adams. Then you had Samuel Tilden in 1876 that lost to Rutherford B. Hayes, and then you had Grover Cleveland in 1888 that lost to Benjamin Harrison. All of them won the popular vote, but they lost the electoral vote.
Interesting.
So this is not a new thing.
Yeah, but one thing that Hillary didn't do, Hillary did not sit back and learn from Al Gore. She did not go back to that time frame and say, you know what are we not going to do that Gore did so we don't let history repeat itself, and it repeated itself. Like I said, she was too busy focused on trying to cater to what she thought, I'm neutral, so I'm catered to. She should have went white. Hillary should have went white.
But I think the reason why she didn't do that is because people kept saying over and over, she takes for granted that the black vote will follow her because black people typically vote Democratic. And I think she wanted to go out of her way to not take black people's votes for granted. So she kind of went in that direction.
You see where that went, that got her.
Yeah, thought that their votes would be
I would love, if I could ask Hillary anything, I'd ask Hillary, what would you do different? What would you, let's take a break. What would you do different? Because she needed to have done something different.
True.
She needed to come off a little more vicious. I think she was just too nice with this.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back.
What's your opinion? We want to know on the Late Night Adult Pajama Party. Call us now on 914-803-4306 and tell us if you agree or disagree, or if you don't care one way or the other. If you've been waiting all week to tell somebody what's on your mind, now is your chance. dial 914-803-4306 and press 1 to speak with the Pajama Party live on the air. To listen to the show online, go to www.apajamaparty.com and click the listen banner on the top right. If you'd like to advertise your business with us, get in touch on www.apajamaparty.com. So call us now on 914-803-4306 and press 1. We will get to you as quick as we can. Now, back to the Pajama Party Live.
Welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm one of the hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine. And this is Friday night. This is the Friday night Pajama Party. We're all sitting up here with pajamas on and doing our thing. We're having a drink. Can I get a toast and I celebrate the...
It's the better time.
Okay. We sit up here and we drink some of the best liquor. We drink the best beer. We don't do drugs.
Nope.
But we definitely get our liquid consumption on.
All right, now.
Anyway, every Friday night we're here. You're welcome to call in. If you're talking to us already, if you're listening to us by phone, press 1. You'll be in our queue, and we'll allow you to speak your mind. This is open night. We're being a little political for a minute. We're going to beat that horse for about 5 more minutes. We're going to get off the political thing because there's more to life than that.
All right.
But the last thing we want to talk about is his cabinet choices, meaning the people that's going to get the big jobs. This is why in an election you see people hanging around, because the reward of you hanging around a person running for president is a job, a job. Okay, every 2 weeks you work for the DOD. All right, you are a government employee. You're making big money. You're living large. You're living rent-free, mortgage-free, probably in some kind of government housing somewhere, and you're doing your thing. So anyway, we're going to look and see who's hanging around Trump for what reason and what job they going to end up with.
Okay, I'll break it down for you.
Go on, break it down.
Because Donald Trump, he is using the Vice President-elect, Mike Pence, to take over the transition planning. Chris Christie, he was going to do it, but he pushed him aside.
Bye-bye, Chris. You're out of there.
They got to stop.
But Christie will remain a vice chair, along with a number of other key campaign advisors, including former
title
House Speaker Newt. He's back. Newt Gingrich, General Mike Flynn, and former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani.
Oh Lord, please.
Junkyard dog.
Not Rudy.
Yeah.
Stop and frisk.
Yep. Trump goes on to say the mission of our team will be clear. Put together the most highly qualified group of successful leaders who will be able to implement our change agenda in Washington.
Yeah, to let him tell it.
Also, Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and campaign chief Steve Bannon will be leading the charge to whittle down names for cabinet positions. The Transition Executive Committee will include 3 of his children, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, and Ivanka Trump.
Well,
you notice how he leaves out Marla Maples' daughter?
Yeah.
She probably going to be doing
something. She don't care. She just there to get paid.
Yeah.
She said, Dad, just make sure every week money goes to my little account.
He is not one of his trusted advisors.
No, not at all. Not at all.
A gentleman by the name of Mike McCall, he's the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, is being considered for Secretary of Homeland Security. Former Michigan Representative Mike Rogers, past chairman of the House of Intelligence Committee, is on the list for director of the CIA.
And where is he from?
Is it Michigan?
House Intelligence Committee. Mike Rogers.
He's from Michigan, right?
Right.
Now, that was the last swing state that he won, right?
Okay. Yeah, see? All these key people. Yeah, you said it.
All the pieces fall into place.
All the pieces fall into place.
Yeah.
This guy from Michigan went out and made sure that all the different polling places.
Yeah, a couple hundred, here, a couple hundred, yeah, a couple hundred.
100?
Right, more than that, I'm quite sure.
Please, there's a lot of...
A couple million, here's a couple million.
But you know what, the key thing people don't realize and don't listen, like you always say, listen.
With the third ear.
Right. I'm rich. He kept saying that. I'm rich.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, within the next week, he's like, okay, it's rigged. And then when he say it's rigged, you're going to look towards Hillary.
how's anything rigged against a billionaire? I don't understand that. That's not possible.
But I'm looking at everything is strategically planned.
Mm-hmm.
The things that he said, he's going to talk about how rich he is first. Then he's going to talk about how rigged things can be. Then he goes on to talk about Hillary's email.
It can't be rigged.
Everything is.
And he never disclosed those taxes.
No, not at all.
Duck and dodge that one
dodge.
for days, months, years.
Let me just say this here. I'm not going to waste a lot of time at all. How can anything be rigged against a billionaire? First of all, let's just say I'm a billionaire, right?
You're the one that does the rigging.
Let's just say I'm a billionaire and I decide to go out clubbing on a Friday night. Okay, after I listen to the Pajama Party, of course.
Of course.
Now, I go out partying on a Friday night as a billionaire. I'm trying to go get laid. Okay, now I'm a billionaire. Now, the first thing I'm going to do in there, when I go in this club, I'm going to say round of drinks for everybody. 2 round of drinks for everybody.
There you go.
And I'm going to be a solid person, but I know the word going to get out that I brought the drinks.
Right.
Now, once the word gets out that I brought a drink for everybody in the club, all them little fast women or them little undercover little freakazoid robots out there, they're going to try to find out who's spending this money, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, sure.
Now, they gyrating over to my VIP area. Okay? Now I got coochie on a stick sitting next to me. How I want to play these jokers. All right? Now, I can either get them drunk and I can make love to a drunk woman that night or any way I want to play it because I'm a billionaire and money is going to lead my night.
Right.
So how can a billionaire ever say that something's rigged? If you got money, you're the one doing the rigging.
Sure. Maybe that's why he could say, if I lose, it's rigged.
Yeah, right.
Because he was the one trying to pull the string.
If you lose, come on. Y'all got, everybody, he knew the electoral college vote. That's what Hillary didn't do.
Right.
Hillary went to be popular.
Right.
And she didn't learn from Al Gore to not be popular. Go check the numbers. If you don't check the numbers, just like you buying a dozen eggs without doing what?
Looking at them first.
That's what I'm talking about.
Fire.
He who buys eggs without taking the lid up and looking, or he who drinks milk out the refrigerator without sticking their nose in that joint when the date has passed, is crazy. If it's the 11th of the month and your milk expired on the 5th of the month, if you don't stick your big ass nose in that hole and take a good sniff, then you crazy as hell.
You
all right?
To get a mouthful of it.
And Hillary didn't.
She didn't stick her nose in it.
Hillary should stop worrying about black people during that election and be white as she is. Use the privilege that you are.
Embrace your whiteness.
Embrace your whiteness first and win that. You're white before you're neutral.
She missed that.
She missed it.
White 101. Focused on being a woman instead of being a white
being neutral,
woman.
and people say, oh, accept her. And then another thing, too, and I'm going to get off my soapbox, like I said. One thing, the last thing I'm going to say, Middle America people, North Dakota, South Dakota people, when they see you out there playing with Stevie Wonder, maybe not so much Stevie Wonder, but when they see you playing with Jay-Z and Beyonce, they are hating your effing guts.
Sure.
They're hating your guts. And that's what Hillary didn't see.
Right.
You should have been with the country and western jokers at the CMA Awards. You should have been hobnobbing with your boyfriend, The Voice. What's his name?
Oh, Blake.
You should have Blake Shelton on your team. Okay? And different people like that. But no, she tried to hobnob with these black folks, and people in Middle America said, look at her, she's a nigger lover. A nigger lover. Like Paul Mooney. You nigger lover. No, I'm not voting for her, she's a nigger lover.
You're still in third.
Okay, and that's how she lost the election.
Right.
Because they thought that she was that. Look at her hobnobbing with those black folks. Oh, I'm not ooh. I mean, these people are crazy. They're crazy. Yeah. They're literally crazy.
Well, they all came out from under their rocks, and they all voted for him.
Yeah, sure did.
And that's what happened.
I'm not voting for him. Jay-Z? Really, Jay-Z? What's that? Is that going to be in the White House? And I'm telling you, thinking of people, because these people up there, and I'm not going to talk about them. Maybe I will, but they're a mess.
But they'll read about them. Trust and believe that. But we're going to keep it moving.
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
All right. So what's popping with you tonight, Papa? Other than this?
I'm getting off the whole
fired up.
I'm getting off the whole thing. But the one thing I'm going to focus on here, inadvertently with the election and everything else, the things that Trump said about the inner city. Now, he talks about black people like we're some type of small entity in this world. For my black people, Vote for me. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Well, somebody tells me to do something because what I have to lose, buy this car on my lot because I'm a used car salesman. What do you have to lose? You don't have a car anyway. When somebody says to you, what do you have to lose, and it precedes something they got to say to you, that shows they're controlling your whole mindset. And to say that I'm going to go in the inner cities and take care of black people, who
says that?
I'm in therapy. I'm not going to say it. Who the hell said that we all live in the urban neighborhoods? Yeah. The man needs to come out of the Trump Towers and come down the level. I'm glad that let me tell you something. Here's the deal right here, and I'm going to keep this short and sweet. When Trump has to start giving up some of his toys and giving up some of his outside privileges and giving up some of his freedom, he going to lose his damn mind. Mm-hmm. Okay? When they say, oh, no, you can't stay at Trump Tower anymore. You got to stay at the White House. And you can't go back and forth like that. So you better get your goddamn toothbrush and bring that motherfucker to D.C.
And he's going to be flying in Air Force One.
In Air Force One.
He's not be flying on Trump One.
Exactly. So Trump is about to undergo a real therapy situation where he's got to change his life. He got to stop tweeting. Presidents don't tweet.
Not like he
Presidents don't text.
Yeah, they tweeting.
And he got to give up all this freedom he got, all this. Because, see, if you're from Philly like myself, we know Trump from destroying Chicken Bone Beach, a.k.a. Atlantic City. And he's still got buildings up there now that are damn empty. The Taj Mahal is empty. Trump Towers, the Trump, the Trump, all that stuff, there's nothing going on in there. These buildings are sitting in Atlantic City. It's crazy. So you got unfinished business where you never even knocked down your buildings and put Atlantic City back in perspective. Now, how the hell are you going to go on to something new? Anybody that's in the Atlantic City area, the Philadelphia area, they know Trump, okay? People out west or the middle of the country, they think he's some kind of new wonder man. A lot of people got introduced to Trump during the Apprentice show. But Trump been showing his ass long before that. If you're a sports fan, you'll know that Trump had a team in the league that opposed the NFL.
Oh, really?
So Trump has been around Trump is the first person that brought my man to the highlight, the football player named Herschel Walker. Mm-hmm. Herschel Walker was a dynamite running back that
wasn't he the Heisman
Trophy winner, right? He played for Donald Trump in the USFL league. Trump had a league in there. So Trump been around doing a lot of stuff for a long time. Mm-hmm. So he's nothing new, and he's nothing, but he's a manipulator. But he's scared to death right now because anything you do new in life, you fear the unknown. That's human nature. So let's see what happens. Do yourself a favor over the next couple months and take a look at them. See what they do. All those bold white men making moves. They all hate each other. They done got rid of Chris Christie because he probably don't get along with Rudy Giuliani. You never know. You never know. Stop thinking they're so tight. They're not tight. They're greedy.
Sure. Yeah,
so I'm just going to close out on what's popping tonight to say that do yourself a favor in the next few months. Keep a sharp eye on this so-called cabinet. Because the only one that got sense in all this shit is Pence, in my opinion. Vice President Pence, I mean, he's got lousy views on things, but he's the only one that's really laid back and cool. He reminds me of Barack with his swagger.
He looks like a robot to me.
Yeah, but he's got good swagger. He's got good hair. I like his hair.
Yeah, okay.
Great hair. Great hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep moving.
All right. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, what we got up here next?
California City, that's the weird news. Dead man to office. Yes, I have that story. Now, check this out. I mean, really, the things people do. A Southern California man who is running for re-election as Oceanside City's treasurer successfully defeated his opponent on Tuesday, despite the fact that he had died a month before.
Huh?
So how did he beat the opponent and he's no longer even with us? So this guy's name is Gary Ernst. He's 61. He received 6 percentage points more than his opponent, Nadine Scott, who had tirelessly worked to inform the public that Ernst had passed away. But apparently people felt like I'd rather vote for the dead man than to vote for you.
Oh, really?
And she was a female?
Yeah.
What area was this in?
This was in Oceanside City in California.
Wow.
So she was saying that she hopes that she'll still be appointed to honor it's 15,500 people that voted for her, but she still got less votes than the dead man.
Wow.
So they're saying that and some people were saying, even though Gary passed away, he's still better qualified than she is.
Shut up.
Now that's rough.
No, they didn't.
So they're saying that even if they don't, if the city doesn't appoint somebody in Gary's place, the other option would be to hold a special election.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that's going to cost the city $500,000.
Oh, my God.
So they're not trying to do that.
So they don't keep the dead man. He ain't going to be able to do no work.
I don't know what they're going to do.
That's crazy.
I just thought that was funny. I mean, she's trying to tell people her qualifications and all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she has experience and what she's done in the 20 years, and she has a degree and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But they still voted for the dead man.
Now, where was this in?
Oceanside City, California.
What
are you going to do?
I don't know.
All right, who else has one?
Grave diggers get down and dirty at international competition.
Okay.
Funerals are grave experiences. Grave digging competitions, not so much. At least not in Trenton, Slovakia. Sounds like
Isn't that where Melania is from?
I don't know.
I think she's from Slovakia, but anyway, go ahead.
This is the second annual International Grave Digging Championship.
Oh my God.
Took place this week. 11 two-member teams from Slovakia, Poland, and Hungary got down and dirty to see who could dig the best grave in the fastest time using only shovels and picks. Speaking of picks, grave digging judges are pretty picky about what makes a good grave. It has to be 5 feet deep, 6.5 feet long, and 3 feet wide.
Good grief.
The grave digging contest is meant to put the fun back into the funeral industry. Okay, to prove he was less than dead serious. Cute. He dressed as the Grim Reaper for the corpse-free contest. This whole exhibition is about getting groups of funeral companies together. This is
like a funeral convention. They get together and have grave digging competitions.
Right. It's all about showing people how hard the grave digger's job is.
Okay. And
And
Melania is from Slovenia. Yeah, that was where? Slovakia?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she's from Slovenia.
Okay, interesting.
All righty. What you got over there, Papa?
I got a woman accused of drinking and taking a forklift to move her van.
Oh, really?
This is in Cheyenne, Wyoming. See, these areas, Wyoming and all, this is areas that Hillary didn't go near. She didn't go near Wyoming.
Maybe that's why.
I'm just saying. I'm just
They
saying.
out there playing with forklifts.
She did not circle the globe.
Yeah.
Anyway, police say a Wyoming woman drunkenly commandeering a state-owned forklift to move her own car that was blocking her driveway. Now, she got this idea because if you go to the salvage yard, well, better known as a junkyard for cars, this is how they move cars away. They put the big forklift underneath the car and they lift the whole thing up and move it somewhere else.
Right.
You got to see it. It's amazing stuff.
That's what she did.
That's what she did. Her name was Ashley Bush. She was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence of alcohol and having open intoxication. Okay. She had posted $950 bail and was scheduled for arraignment on November 21st. All right. Police in the city of Cheyenne says that Bush's neighbors reported that she was drinking a beer as she moved her van with a fork in with a front end loader forklift style late Saturday night. What it is that the van that she had lost the keys. And she had blocked it. She was blocking the driveway with the van, and she had it pulled up in her car.
Oh, my God.
So she went back to her job and got the front end loader with the forklift in the front, and she put it underneath her van, and she lifted the van up in the air, moved it somewhere else, and sat it down.
But she knew how to operate a forklift.
Yeah, well, that was her job, yes.
Even drunk.
Yes.
So did the car survive her lifting it up?
Well, the neighbors were losing their mind, first of all. Wait, play a little thing on there. What the hell? You got to play that up.
That is too funny. Okay, that was the neighbor.
What the hell is that shit?
This is what the neighbors said when they looked out the window. They said, "Oh my God, is that a forklift lifting up a van? What the hell?"
They probably thought somebody was trying to steal it.
Yeah, well, they
That's
said,
one way to
"Ashley,
steal it.
Ashley, what are you doing, Ashley? I lost my keys. I'm moving it.
I gotta move it so I can get out the drive."
So anyway, she's due for arraignment on November 21st.
And the bond or bail was what? $950.
In Cheyenne, Wyoming.
She had to have 10% of that?
I don't know. Maybe that was 10%.
Maybe that was 10%.
Probably was $9,500.
I wish bail up north was that cheap, please.
Oh, good.
Nobody was stealing.
That's some crazy stuff.
All right, we gonna keep it moving?
Yeah, let's keep it moving. Time is moving on. We really got to get it in.
Okay, well, I came across this letter from Aaron Sorkin, and he is a very successful screenwriter. He wrote The West Wing, and he also wrote A Few Good Men.
Oh, okay.
And Newsroom and, countless other things. But after it was announced that Trump had won the election, he was distraught and, disappointed like many people. And he wrote this letter to his wife and daughter. And I thought this was so interesting. I just wanted to share it with people. He said, "Okay, dear girls, well, the world changed last night in a way I couldn't protect us from. That's a terrible feeling for a father. I won't sugarcoat it. This is truly terrible. It's hardly the first time my candidate didn't win. In fact, it's the 6th time. But it's the first time that a thoroughly incompetent pig with dangerous ideas, a serious psychiatric disorder, and no knowledge of the world and no curiosity to learn has won. And it wasn't just Donald Trump who won last night. It was his supporters, too. The Klan won last night. White nationalists won last night. Sexist, racist, and buffoons won last night. Angry young men who think rap music and Cinco de Mayo are a threat to their way of life have been given cause to celebrate. Men who have no right to call themselves men and who think that women who aspire to be more than hot, shrill, or ugly, or otherwise unworthy, he said this just strikes a blow for misogynistic shitheads everywhere. Hate was given hope. Abject dumbness was glamorized as being the fresh voice of an outsider. And for the next 4 years, the President of the United States, the same office held by Washington and Jefferson, Lincoln and Roosevelt, FDR, JFK, and Barack Obama, will be held by a man-boy who will spend his hours exacting Twitter vengeance against all who criticize him. We've embarrassed ourselves in front of our children and the world took no time to react. The stock market dropped 7,000 points overnight. Economists predicted a deep and prolonged recession. Our NATO allies are in a state of legitimate fear. And speaking of fear, Muslim Americans, Mexican Americans, and African Americans are shaking in their shoes. And we'd be right to note that many of Trump's fans are not fans of Jews. On the other hand, there's a party going on at the ISIS headquarters. What wouldn't we give to trade him for Richard Nixon right now? And he went on to say, a few other things, and I'll skip through it. But in closing, he said, we have got to get involved. We got to do what we can to fight injustice anywhere we see it, whether it's writing a check or rolling up our sleeves. Our family is fairly insulated from the effects of Trump's presidency, so we fight for the families that are not. We fight for a woman to keep her right to choose. We fight for the First Amendment, and we fight mostly for equality. We have got to stand up. He said America didn't stop being America last night, and we didn't stop being Americans. Even on our darkest days, it's always followed by our finest hours. And he's ended by saying, the battle's not over, it's just begun. I will not hand my daughter a country shaped by hateful and stupid men. And that was the letter that he wrote to his wife and his daughter. And I just thought that was so well written. Of course, he's a screenwriter, so I expected it to be well written. But I think he just hit every nail on the head in terms of the sentiment. Because he's saying that they're insulated to a degree because they're in Hollywood, they got money. And he said, but even with all of that, I am unnerved by this, and this is the world that my daughter is going to have to grow up in. When you've got a misogynistic pig, as he called him, sexist, racist, all of that, in charge of the country, that's not cool. So this is Redwine, and I'm just saying, that dad, Aaron Sorkin, he laid that thing out. All right. So props to you, Mr. Sorkin, for putting that together the way you did. I appreciate that. Redwine. I'm just saying, I couldn't do any better. I said, I'm going to have to just share this with everybody. He put that thing together. If you guys got any questions or comments what we're talking about, hit us up tonight. 914-803-4306. And press 1. Press 1. Get in the queue. We want to hear from you. All of this politics we've been talking tonight, boy, it's making my head spin. Yeah, I'm getting thirsty now. Yeah. Well, let's go get a refill, and we're coming back with Poppa and Living for the City. All right now. All right.
This is the Pajama Party on Blog Talk Radio. The Pajama Party is produced by DC Homegrown Entertainment at www.dchomegrown.com. The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the Pajama Party crew and you. So pick up the phone and dial 914-803-4306. That's 914-803-4306, and tell us what's on your mind. There's a big fluffy pillow reserved just for you at the Pajama Party, so call us now. And remember, it's PJs only, no clothes allowed. Pass it on. Log on to www.apajamaparty.com and click the Listen Live banner or call 914-803-4306. Now let's get back to the crew and more of the Pajama Party. Is it tea time, darling?
Yeah, welcome back to the Pajama Party. I'm one of the hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
And Redwine.
I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
All right.
Ketel, Mr. Q.
Hey, I'm still here. Hanging in there.
Well,
so living for the city tonight. What you got for us?
Living for the city tonight, I just want to just reiterate, like I said earlier, I think that everybody should take a pause and sit back and watch, It's almost like watching a team that you're going to play football against the following week. We should not say nothing because right now they're in a transition period, okay? And they're just as scared as anybody else. Believe me, the fear of the unknown is almost the worst thing you can embark in life. Not knowing something, going to a new job. There's nobody in this world that's nervous about the fear of the unknown. Doing something new, going to something different. Don't think that Barack is going to that White House with all kind of boldness. That White House is open to privileged people that win as president of the United States. And he was nowhere near that. So now that he walked in that building with access, he's bashing on his white privilege, but he is scared as hell. Don't think he's not. Because he's about to sit in the Oval Office where every phone that rings can be trouble. Anything. An earthquake in Japan that killed 10,000 people. What you gonna do? A flood in Louisiana. What you gonna do? 10 more people was killed in Chicago last night. What you gonna do? You talk about the inner city. What you gonna do about the inner city? Let's just sit back and watch. Remember, January 20th is the inaugurational day, and his first day starts on the 21st. So therefore, let's see what he's going to do. About black people, I'm going into the inner cities and change this. Let's see how long it takes his ass to get to the inner cities. Okay? Hold people accountable. Don't say nothing. Sit back and watch. Don't ask him what he's doing. Let time lapse and say, you know what, you've been here 100 days. You changed this law and that law. And then you got 20 million people on Obamacare. And what you going to do to change Obamacare? You can't keep saying, everybody always says, I'm going to appeal it. But what you going to do to make it better? Nobody's telling what they're going to do. All Trump talked about is stuff that he is going to try to do, but he ain't done nothing yet. So don't give him credit for anything. So, and I'm not bashing him. I'm giving him a chance like anybody else because he's the president. And when it trickles down to my level, shit, he don't give a snowball chance in hell, in fact, about me. So all we can do is sit back and observe his action because everything he does from here on out is going to be on camera. They're going to get him coming off of the helicopter as he comes back from Camp David, as he gets on Air Force One, as he does this and does that. He's going to be on camera every time. So let's see what happens, because when it comes to Michelle and Barack, he's a tough act to follow. So just keep a lookout. Don't turn your back on it. Keep a look at it and see what he does, and especially peep that damn cabinet he's going to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure there's women in there and minorities in there and just people that look like you, because that's going to blow your mind too. So just observe.
Does not include Ben Carson.
Don't. When you see Ben Carson in there, don't think he's representing anything. All that man got is brown skin. He could give a jack about it. But anyway, that's it for Living for the City with me. But like I said, just watch that cabinet and let him do his thing because he's the president. But see what's up with him.
Yeah, you're right about that. All right, well, let's head out to the West Coast in Ketel, the Hollywood wrap-up. What's going on in Hollywood this week? We're on Hollywood. Yeah.
Hooray for Hollywood. I'm in the hills right behind the Hollywood sign.
All right now. So what's happening behind the sign?
I'm chilling with a glass of red wine.
Oh, my.
Yes. I have to give a good shout-out to Angie at the party time. She hooked me up with this new wine here, sparkling red wine. Thank you. Getting into the Hollywood wrap-up. Robert Redford says he's retiring from acting. Robert Redford will retire from acting after completing production on his final 2 films. Redford discusses the importance of storytelling, painting, and reveals that he plans on quitting acting to focus solely on directing and sketching. Oh, sketching by numbers, I guess.
I don't know.
I mean, but check it out. He's 80 years old.
And now he says he's going to retire?
He's going to retire.
After doing 2 more films?
Yep, he's retiring from acting.
Okay, Robert.
Redford says he plans on retiring from his long career in front of the screen after 2 acting projects in the works come out. They're called Our Souls at Night with, he got some heavy hitters, Jane Fonda, and The Old Man with a Gun with Casey Affleck and Sissy Spacek.
Okay.
Upcoming films, he'll also be in 2 other films, The Discovery and Come Sunday. So.
And he's doing all this at 80.
Yeah.
And then he wants to retire and focus on directing.
Yep.
And sketching.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see what role he plays. I guess he's playing folks' fathers and granddads now. He's 80, you know.
Yeah, I don't see him as a sexy leading man anymore.
Well, now, I don't know.
Just saying.
Well, my personal opinion, he still is sexy to me.
Yeah.
Okay, on a sad note, Robert Vaughn, who starred as Napoleon Solo on The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I used to watch that. That must have been in reruns because I wasn't born. But anyway.
I'm not familiar with that show.
From 64 to 68, he died of an acute leukemia.
Oh, wow.
So James Bond, check this out. James Bond influenced The Man from U.N.C.L.E., in which Bond Solo and David McCallum battled the evil forces of the Thrush, the THRUSH, around the globe. Was quite the pop culture phenomenon in the mid-'60s. It sure was, because I watched it.
Okay.
It spawned a spinoff from, I never heard of this one, The Girl from U.N.C.L.E., starring Stephanie Powell. Yeah.
I remember that one.
And well as a few featured adaptions during the run of the TV series. One Spy Too Many, I've heard of that one.
Nope.
Whatever, Redwine.
No.
One of our spies is missing, and the Karate Killers. Never heard of those. Vaughn also guested as Napoleon Solo on sitcom Please Don't Eat the Daisies. Remember that? Okay. And made an accredited appearance as Solo in the 66 Doris Day feature, The Glass Bottom Boat. Yeah, okay. You remember Doris Day?
I do.
Oh, we do. And then he reprised his role in '83, the TV movie The Return of the Man from U.N.C.L.E. So, yeah, okay. Anyway, and then check this out. Guy Ritchie, remember he used to be married to Madonna.
Oh yeah.
He did a feature adaptation of The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and that was released. Yeah, in August 2015. Yeah.
Never heard about that one.
So I guess it wasn't that popular. Okay, but he died at 83.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, Man from U.N.C.L.E. That was a man. Yeah, the Man from U.N.C.L.E.
All right.
Kill ya.
That's your Hollywood report?
Yeah, that's it, sure. Well, I got a cocktail for week here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, after all this election stuff, we need a good cocktail.
Called the Straight Jacket.
Oh, my. A straight jacket?
A straight jacket. It includes 2 shots of Aftershock, which we need.
Yeah, this was the Aftershock.
It's called Aftershock Hot and Cool Cinnamon Schnapps. 1 shot of Passoa liqueur.
Now, I'm not familiar with the Passoa. What is that?
It's a liqueur exotic passion fruit.
Oh, my. Okay, do so.
Sounds good.
Ay.
You know what I'm saying? Orange juice and ice cubes. Got to have ice cubes, so shake.
Okay.
In a highball glass, add Aftershock, then Paseo. Fill with orange juice and ice to taste.
All right.
Yep. It's delicious. Taste is enjoyed the world around, being the #1 liqueur in Puerto Rico, and #2 in Holland, and #3 in Belgium. That was a Paseo. Passoa. It's a liqueur, exotic passion fruit liqueur.
Well, it tastes good.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would like that Aftershock with that cinnamon flavor.
Oh, it's the bomb.
But when you combine it with those ingredients, it's actually nice.
Yeah, I guess they say straight jacket because it must put you in a straight jacket after about 2 or 3 of those, I guess.
I know this election tried to put us all in a straight jacket.
It put us in the Aftershock.
It sure did. We're going to be feeling these Aftershocks for a while.
I think so.
All right. Well, let's see. We're going to go into the Kiss It list. You want to take a break? I tell you what, let's take a break. And to our listeners, if you have anybody you want to put on the Kiss It list, call us now. 914-803-4306. And what do they have to do? Press 1.
Yeah.
Let us know who you want to put on the Kiss It list, and we're coming right back with that.
How you doing? I'm Poppa DD, one of the hosts of the Pajama Party, and I'm here to introduce you to 2 of the segments I have on the Pajama Party. One is called What's Poppin' with Poppa DD, and the other one's called Living for the City. What's popping is maybe a topic that really popped at me that week about something really going on that's serious. And on Living for the City, I'll talk about stuff that has to do with the inner city, the suburban life, and life as we know it as far as the hood is concerned and everything thereof. Because as Moore said, the whole world is a ghetto. So we'll talk about all that. So join me, Poppa DD, every Friday for my 2 segments of What's Poppin' and Living for the City. Welcome back to the Pajama Party. One who's Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
Hey, Redwine.
Bonsoir.
We're going to do the Kiss It list. Which is a list of everybody who showed their rectum last week.
Is that serious?
They showed it all.
A list compiled of people that, did some unsightly and ruthless things, and we're going to just put their asses on blast. Let's start off with this so-called cabinet.
OMG.
Donald Trump. Your cabinet really reflects who you are. Believe me.
Wow.
And we're going to see a bunch of lily white men. So Kiss a list to all the lily white men that's going to be on his cabinet, because we know that's what it's going to be. So he don't know no better. That's all he knows. And not to mention Ben Carson. He'll be there, too, with his choking black ass.
And Chris Christie, even though he didn't make the cut for the cabinet.
Poor Chris Christie. Donald's just smacking him around.
From me.
Smacking him around. I think he's going to end up homeless somewhere.
Oh, well.
Anyway, Macy's for having a preview day on Friday. What the hell does that mean? You can't buy it till Saturday anyway on sale.
But then you can't, they got a free sale too. You can't pick it up till Sunday. Oh, my gosh. They are doing the most.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Also, I got to add Ashley Bush. That's the drunken lady with the forklift. Oh, and she stole a forklift to move the car from the driveway.
Okay. She stole it from her job, towing her car. Oh, so she didn't really violate anybody.
She stole it. And she was driving it drunk. She just burned it.
She's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you and Ashley can be on the list. Also, I want to add to the people who claim that they wrote in a vote for Harambe, the dead gorilla. All of you, whoever you are, you're on the Kiss It list.
I have the KKK in North Kakalaki.
Oh, yeah, for that rally they want to do, a march or whatever the case.
Yeah.
What's her name? Megyn Kelly? Megyn Kelly, because she has a book that now she's releasing. And in the book, she talks about how she was aware of some information like how Fox News gave advanced questions to Donald Trump for the debate.
Really?
She knew this all along, but she held on to that information so that she could put it in her book.
Talking about Blondie?
Yeah.
The one that he was talking to?
Yeah, the one that he had allegedly they were going at each other, fighting or whatever. Allegedly.
I knew someone right with
So,
that.
yeah, Megyn Kelly,
well, that's because of the guy that got ousted from there was good friends with Trump's. The one that the pervert to pay the lady off.
Oh, the other
Ayers.
one.
Ayers is his
name. Roger.
Yeah.
Ailes.
Roger Ailes. Okay.
Yeah, him. Let's see. I think that's all I have.
I guess that's it. You got any more, Papa?
Redwine complaining I made too much noise and I went back into the pantry of the studio just to open up a can of pop or soda.
Oh, good.
She's crapping,
Yeah, and Roger Goodell. We can't forget him.
Permanent.
Yeah.
What we got for him?
Oh, and the people who had to take Mr. Trump's Twitter account away from him to keep him from ruining anything any further.
Yeah.
I mean, how sad is that?
And Redwine once again for...
Anyway, here's something for everybody on the Kiss It list. This one is just for you.
Kiss my entire ass. Kiss my Irish ass. You better kiss my Irish ass. This world kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. You can just kiss my ass. Baby, you can just kiss my ass. Oh. You can kiss my country ass. I said if you got a problem with any of that, you can kiss my natural born redneck to the bone, ever loving country ass. That's right.
All right, yeah, we're back here at the Pajama Party. We're going to close out. I got a little time to play with, but the one thing I just want to say to everybody to look out for is to keep an eye on Trump and see what he does. Keep an eye on him. All the stuff he claimed he's going to do, I'm going to make America great again, that's not by making a bunch of BS laws. Because any law that puts in right now can go right through. But they can win it in the House and the Senate. So watch out. Laws are going to be passed like you would not believe. So pay attention to them laws. Don't sleep on them because it may affect where you live. So you look up at a farmer who's just growing potatoes is living better than you, okay, because they passed a law to give him $1 million in subsidies. Just watch yourself. Watch yourself.
That's your last word, Paul?
Yeah, my last word is just keep an eye on Trump. Keep an eye on Trump.
Your eyes and ears open. Keep one eye open, one eye closed. I think we better keep both eyes open on this rascal. Well, my last word is thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Check out our website, apajamaparty.com. Shout out to Lynette Tichelle and Lena Chanel doing their thing. And what else? I guess that's it.
Okay.
Oh, one last thing.
Uh-huh.
I know for those of us who did not get our candidate elected, it may seem dark, but the sun will rise. Mm-hmm. And I think, like what Poppa DD said, you just got to keep your eyes and ears open and pay attention. Mm-hmm. As the saying goes, stay woke.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's right.
And give them a chance. Don't shut them out. Because as they say, what was her name, Eleanor Roosevelt?
Mm-hmm.
She said it's better to light a candle than curse the darkness.
Okay.
So give them a chance.
I know where I'd like to light that candle.
Okay.
Anyway, what's your last word, Ketel?
Like I said again, I want to give a shout out to Miss Angie at the Party Time Liquor. She hooked me up. Thanks for the hookup. The name of the wine is Stella Rose. Stella. Also, a shout out to Portland, Oakland, LA, Chicago, NYC, DC, and Philly.
Yeah.
You guys out there protesting.
Yeah.
Like Papa said, you got to get a man a chance. Let's just see what's going to go on.
Yeah, give him a chance.
Yeah, but I'm down with the protest.
Yeah.
Give him a chance. Because he's scared. He's scared. Don't think
sure.
this man's not.
Oh, sure.
This
Power
man
to the people.
took on, he may have been a boss of all the Trump towers and all that.
Right.
But this man is the boss of the free world.
This is totally different.
This is different.
Right.
Believe he knows
Power
it.
to the people. So the 225 people that were arrested in those cities, I just need to take heed and just, step back for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Give the man a chance. So that's from hell.
Get a front row seat and watch his failure. That's what you do.
That's my last word, and we're out. Say good night, Papa.
Good night. I like to. One of our interns made some really good. What is this? Monkey bread?
Banana nut muffins.
Oh.
No, actually, Redwine made them, and they're good.
So I had help, but thank you.
Okay. All right. Shout out to you, Miss Redwine homemaker.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she's dating the French guy no more.
Don't worry about it. Both
she's back cooking again.
Happy homemaker.
Don't count on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Say goodnight, Papa.
Same time next week.
Oh, Lord. Here we
go.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bonsoir.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so. I bid you farewell, arrivederci, sayonara, and all that sort of cheers.
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, good night.
Yabiko. Sana.
I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now.
Good night, and good luck.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Now give me a kiss and say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending our show, and good night.
Pajama Party, growing sexy, going to party. Pajama Party, Party Crew, keep